What up, my freaks? RuinousInsight here with part 6 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Lokhir Fellheart Old World campaign. So as we saw last time, Admiral Moksha, the Tempest of Talons, had his moment defending himself against 3 stacks, well, 2.5 stacks really, but anyway, outside of Azea, and at that with only Dark Riders and Black Ark Corsairs managing to survive and cementing himself in the sort of good fleet masters that we have. Right now it's Mr. Life Quencher, Kenmove Life Quencher, Balthanal Shadow Dart, and Moksha, and then of course Mr. Caliph Beastbinder, who doesn't have those beasts as yet, but he has gotten us materials at sea and lost cargo, so he's still one of my faves. Anyway, in addition to that, we got our first army that isn't a fleet army up and running. You'll notice that despite the fact that, 90% of this army is made of tier 2 units, Dark Shards and whatchamacallums, Dark Riders and Harpies and the Corsairs, all tier 2, the Reaper Bolt Throwers are tier 2, and Elves, remember, don't have tier 1 units, so this is all the lowest tier that we can have, with the exception of the Muse of Terror and the other Medusa. So yeah, this is our second army, but as we can clearly see, even while garrisoned, it's going to probably cost somewhere around 4k to field, compared to the 2k or less of all of our, generally speaking, fleet armies. And this one's a little bit more expensive right now because of the expense of the shades, but as it upgrades, it'll get even less expensive. So there is that. Anyway, my point is, these sort of non-seagoing armies are expensive, but it'll be fun to start getting them out there doing things. We do need a couple of armies to move down here to start conquering this territory, because Bretonia might be a better option as a place that we constantly raid. Now, one thing I did between the episodes that's important is I did, thanks for the reminder by the way, download the mod. So as we can see now, the new Altor Retinue, the Grey Mountain Band, and whatever other units, the Drakvald Riders, from the Old World State Troops, not the SFO State Troops, but the Old World State Troops, they are now, in terms of their HP and their stats and values, on par with SFO. We didn't attack these guys last time because they weren't, and I didn't want to fight their 3 stacks while they were weakened by the fact that their stats weren't where they should be, but now they very much are, and these guys are going to be extremely threatening, and like Admiral Moksha, Admiral Balthanal and his shades are going to have to do their best to survive here, as he'll be attacked by 3 stacks as soon as we end the turn. So let's end the turn and let's see if he survives. Go. Oh, what is this absolute cowardice from the Sigmarsheim faction? We have 3.5 stacks of yours against the 1 of ours, and still you did not attack? Well, you, I guess, will besiege ya, or blockade ya, and then I'm going to assume that they'll attack next turn. Kuran has confederated Langui, and, I mean, I don't really think that matters to us right now. Close defeat, alright. Blockade this, they should sally. Yeah, they absolutely should. What I would like to do, though, Shadow Sorceress, I would like you to go for, where was that item that we had? The Guiding Eye. Frankly, this should probably go on a Son of Murderer, Knight Assassin in particular. That would help a range-focused army. And admittedly, I'd like to see whether we have, where are we here? Ooh, another Hakarti favored master. Wait. Okay, yes, we want one of those. Frankly, I might actually transfer the other one out of Moksha's army and put in a different one. But anyway, that's not important right now. What is important is we get you on field, because the Chillblade ones are going to go with the Chillblades, as in the Regiment of Renown. The other thing that I would like to do is take a look at Knight Assassins. Experienced Mariner, Black Swag. Alright, that's fine. But Knight Assassins... Artful Assassin, Master Infiltrator. Now, there was a ranged powering up one that I want, so I guess we'll wait on that. Next, what we will want to do is... I mean, Cameron and Moksha can... Oh, wow, Cameron can't reach Grouse? Well, he can't, but Moksha can. Alright, so Cameron, you're gonna go here. We need to take this before the rats move in. And then we also have a Blood Bruise Hag here. Now, I was going to say we don't technically need one with Cameron, so we could probably pop one in somewhere else. Probably one of these guys, since Moksha already has a Death Hag. Alrighty, so you go in. We'll sack Grouse, I guess, or we could just take it at tier 2. We'd have to pop the Diktat for public order then, because the public order would be horrendous. But maybe it'll be worth our time. We'll also probably want to trade Guan Yu our way. Ooh, hello, wait a second. Okay, this is why I should have started doing stuff in order. You and Loki are going to proceed up towards Mount Zardel. And is this a walled settlement? It is not. Alright, so we'd be free to attack it and sack it as one does. Let's go for Druki first strike as well. And we'll deal with that in a second. Let's have everybody set up. We're going to blockade this. Like so. Oh, it's going to kill off the Dark Riders. Well, we don't care about them that much because they're going to be replaced in this army, but I care about them enough not to, you know, just kill them willy-nilly. We also got to be wary of this. There's a full stack available, meaning they'll probably sally out. Really? It's going to kill our Dark Riders here? It's kind of disappointing. Even if we do that, I just want to see. No, even if we do that. Alright, we'll manually fight this super quick, or maybe we'll cinematically fight it anyway. Alright, you know what? I said I wanted to start doing things from the top, and you know who's on top. It's Mr. Lokhir, so let's fight this. Tehenhauin, probably the last fight I would have loved to ally with you, little guy. You really shouldn't have befriended the Bretonnians, but hopefully we can find another lizard faction to acquire some lizards out of. Would be nice. Either way, we strike. Alrighty, here we go. Tehenhauin supercharges those skinks in the same way that we supercharge I keep wanting to say Free Company Militia now. Damn you for making me name a unit that we're Black Ark Corsairs, so should be pretty interesting. Anyway, we're going to start the day by trying to kill off a few of those, not the Chameleon Skinks, though they are annoying, the Salamander hunting packs. Lokhir will pop off his net on them, in order to allow the Rubric of Dark Dimensions to do as much damage to them as possible. In the meantime, Lokhir will barrel through the lines of skinks, obviously using his Sea Dragon's Briny Breath to do a little bit of extra damage, then head directly for Tehenhauin. That said, this is a pretty dangerous place to be. There's a lot of range units hitting him at the same time. He rapidly loses about half of his HP to Tehenhauin, and the Saurus Scarvet and the Skink Chiefs and all the other stuff attacking him at the same time. Granted, Tehenhauin's losing as much HP, but, well, we don't want to actually lose Lokhir while killing Tehenhauin. And since he is not inclined to a duel here, we can simply do a little bit of damage, back off, allow Tehenhauin hopefully to follow us, or otherwise follow him. Ooh, there's a little light spot on the map in the center where we see some red-crested skinks facing off against the Twin Blade and Black Ark Corsairs. This should go, in theory, in our favor, and the Kraken's teeth are soundly beating the red-crested skinks here. And it does look like some of the other units are taking a little bit more damage. The Kraken's tendrils here got charged by, it's the Ark of Sotek, reducing their damage using the poison ability, and, terrifying them away from those red crests. Yeah, there we go. That's what I like to see. Enemy is certainly giving us a fight. Though Tehenhauin won't be giving us one too much longer, as he has finally peeled away from the rest of his heroes and is ready for a duel, though as we've seen, it probably won't be too much of one. No, he's actually still debuffed by Kane's Scourge. It looks like one more hit and Tehenhauin will fall. Beautiful, never to rise again. Just like the Wood Elves last episode. Kroxigor still running around at relatively full HP. We've had other more critical monsters to target, like the Ark of Sotek, and as such, they are going to be the handbows target until they're felled, and then we can switch to the Kroxigors. Obviously, the melee units are facing off against each other, and the Chameleon Skinks are running around. Over all the way on the right flank in the woods here, we have the unit of Ice Blades protecting the rest of our army from charges from the enemy Cold Run Riders, obviously trying to keep them here in the trees, where hopefully they get debuffed, depending on if they have the Woodsman trait or anything like that. Oh, they do. Well, then never mind. Shut up. It's just habit at this point. to deal with Cavan that way. A second rubric of Dark Dimensions comes down. We got a 3-minute straight brawl here, which is pretty good, all things considered. Especially since we're a Dark Elven army, and Dark Elven armies are, well, they're a little bit like Slaanesh armies in some ways. They're a lot more heavily armored, generally speaking, obviously, but they have very high melee attack and relatively low melee defense, generally speaking, across most of the units. Some of the monsters obviously don't have a low melee defense, but most of the Dark Elven, whether it be infantry or cavalry or whatnot, have significantly higher melee attack than defense. I think the tier 5 Cold One Dread Knights are an exception, unless I'm mistaken. They're 45-45 on their stats, but otherwise. Anyway, the enemy army is finally done. Those Pterodon Riders stuck around for much longer than they normally would have in this particular fight, but again, we were focusing down the dinos rather than the flyers here. And obviously those are the regular Pterodon Riders, and the AI doesn't use them well enough for them to be a major threat. If those were Fire Leech Bolas, then obviously they would have been probably the main priority target, similar to the enemy Salamanders, basically anything that could do AoE damage to our infantry. Otherwise, everybody is done. The lizards, at least these lizards, will not be seen again, but if we can get either an ally or another enemy out of them somewhere else on the map, then that should be fun. Close victory, great fight from Tehenhauin. All right, very nice. A close victory in one of the toughest battles for Lokhir's army, his own personal force in this campaign so far. Lokhir was actually down to about 20% of his HP before recovering back up to 50% after regeneration. Pretty much every single one of our units of Corsairs, especially the melee units, were below half HP, and some even remained below half HP because they actually had enough model losses to warrant it. The Ice Blades, which we put on the right flank, were actually quite useful in this particular fight. We put them in the most dangerous position, and as the only real sort of tanky unit that we have in this army, it does make sense that they were able to, or they were able to rack up a kill count, but also absorb a lot of damage, I'd wager. At the, let's see, 18,000 damage? Yes, looks like at 18,000 damage, Dark Deluge carried the day for the handbows, closely followed by the Serpent's Gaze, while for the Twin Blades, it's, for once, the only unnamed unit of Blackheart Corsairs. I should probably name you, even though all of these guys are going to be transferred out of this army. Nonetheless, we are going to sack the place and then stop. No. Okay. I was afraid he'd do this and go around all the way, which he didn't, but, I don't know. Yeah, he was planning it, I'm sure. Ooh. Defeated Tehenhauin gives us casualties captured post-battle. That's really nice. I did not know that. Alright, well, that works out real well for us. Actually, kind of disappointing that we didn't have his defeat rate on other lords, because with that... Oh, and Selveth has her Cauldron of Blood as well. Nice. Wait, who the heck is Selveth? You're not Selveth, you're Jaden. Who? Oh, huh. Well, I guess that makes sense, yeah, alright. Because she's the one with the Witch Elves. Alright, well, I'm gonna hope... Oh, you'll need to be level 10 for Cauldron of Blood? Okay, you're level 9, you'll have it soon. Alright, as I was saying, because Cult of Sotek has been destroyed. Out of curiosity... We don't care about Durango, we care about Guaniar because it's part of the same territory as Vizea and Grouse, and might actually be the sort of the limit of this portion of our territory, especially if the Skaven start taking territory in Bretonnia, which, you know, Bretonnia proper is far too landlocked, and I do think that we should limit the amount of admin that we have, so and we should probably do our best to... Where were you gonna go again? Oh, right here. Yeah, but we don't know how close you will go with your full stack. Can we defend against you? Yeah, we probably can. Alrighty, so as long as you three stick together, sticking together is what good Corsairs do. Go here. So that if this army attacks us, you guys are all attacked together. And here. And here, you, Mr. Phidian, you're the Black Ark Reaver with the Sworn First Mate, Toxic Venom. One of the things I really like about the Dark Elf roster is that they have access to all the poison types. They have regular poison on the Manticores and on something else. I don't remember what it was, but they definitely do have regular poison. They also have they have lethal poison on the Cold One Dread Knights, and also something else, but I don't remember. They have bleed, they have toxic venom, they have lots of these toxins and venoms available to them, which means you can stack them, which is generally pretty fun. Oh, Medusa have poison on their regular poison on their melee attacks. So yeah, basically you have options for getting all the different kinds of poison contact effects on enemies, which we will definitely do in one of our armies. Which one, I haven't decided yet, but we'll see. Oh, the other lethal poison is on the Doomfire Warlocks, yes. Good. Anyway, we'll deal with that in Charybdis, and I believe Charybdis has toxic venom as well. Yes. Lots of options there is what I'm saying. Anyway, you will probably go into one of these armies. You are rank 8, so you will probably be the one that will get your army operational before everybody else. I would, however, like to go into Dread Expansion with you, and with you, and just to double check, you can upgrade to the next level of Black Ark, but, okay, we gotta double check our settlements first before we do. Although we can make a little bit of money by sacking grouse if we wanted to. Okay, wait, let's see what else we have. I wanted to see whether Guaniar here was tradable for Mount Zardel. Alright, because we are not looking to get these things. Guaniar? Or Zardel? Oh. Nowhere near. Okay, what about Montanas? Guaniar for Montanas. Oh, yes, very much so. And we could get all the agreements and a decent chunk of change as well. Alright, I don't mind doing that. Alright, let's do that then. Guaniar for Montanas and all of their money. Guaniar for Montanas, all of their money, and we could still do the trade agreement, and even temporarily, we could do the defensive alliance with the Lyonesse here, while, once again, I don't believe that the Dark Elves would really ally with the demons. They could very much put them to use in terms of having them be a menace to Bretonnia here. And just like Nakari was used by Malekith in the end times, although the less we talk about that, the better. But anyway, you know what, let's start with a trade agreement, but we'll keep the other sort of these agreements up for now. As in, we'll probably do them, but maybe after we trade other stuff or something. I'll think about it. And I also want more money from them, so I don't want to waste that. But let's get the trade agreement up and running immediately. And there we go. And then we'll do all of this maybe afterwards, once they recover a little bit of their cash. Guaniar, I was going to build walls here, and they already have walls. Fantastic. If this is to be the sort of edge of this portion of our territory, which is a distinct likelihood. Oh, wait. Does Ferignac have a port? Actually, if it has a port, Emira and Kesselbrian also have a port. That's 3 ports right there. I was thinking because these are interior provinces, they wouldn't have much in the way of ports. We could go all the way to Saint-Jacques and Breganel if we wanted to. We'd still be bordering stuff. I guess we could wall up these places. I still think we should probably keep the wall at Guaniar, though. And you can also have keep the halls of ravaging. Yeah. Alrighty, Vizaya, let's, what did I want to build here? I assume it was a sorceress's abode? Probably. Let's go with the sorceress's abode. Never gonna get cheaper after all. Alrighty, and then Guaniar will probably need to replace the Estates of the Masters, but we'll do that later. We do have another Black Ark available. Now these guys start at rank... It does not say. Oh, well, thank you, game. Did we finish all the other towers of dark whatevers, rituals? Let me just see here. Okay, not you, although you can build the Estates of the Masters. And we have the Sorceress Abode coming in here. No Tower of Dark Rituals as yet. We should actually upgrade Barbosa while we're here. Yes, and then upgrade you. Alright, any more Towers of Dark Rituals? I don't think any are being constructed, meaning that we should probably take the time to build yet another Black Ark. Let's see what level these guys start at now. Level 6, alright, getting there. I'll be happy as soon as they start at rank 10, and then you can use Dread Expansion stance. And you know what, actually, I don't trust... Okay, go into Vizaya, actually. Just in case these guys can sally out and attack you. And I guess you can temporarily go into this army. There we go, and if we need to pop you into a different army, well then we'll do that. Let's also double check what we have in terms of diplomacy. First of all, Confederation, still no dice, but well, we'll get there eventually. Basically, look at that, all of the rats want to align with us, which, you know, fair enough. I don't really care about Gouger. Scuttle isn't the worst one, though, because Scuttle occupies a completely red territory here in the Fool's Rocks, meaning it's effectively useless to us, even if we betray Nakari and the Scryer rats, so maybe that's fine. And they'll give us 3.3k for the privilege, so why not? They're also at war with Gwalkazar, but I don't think we care about that. Yeah, fine, defensive alliance. Alright, and they occupy all of these provinces. They can give us a vision, and if anybody sails on over here, we can, you know, have them deal with it. Again, red territories, and I'm a little bit more inclined to trade and ally with the Skaven as the Dark Elves than with the Forces of Chaos. Otherwise, there are a bunch of Forces of Chaos that wanted to be friends, and we've said no a bunch of times so far. Bordello Errant, oh wow. They still have 21 settlements, even after all the menacing that we've been doing to their stuff. Well, good for them. How long that remains the case, we will see, but we have a use for Bretonia in providing us money and slaves and whatever else we need. You are going to go up here. Keep scouting. Oh, actually, no, I just realized something. You know what? No, this should be the end of our scouting. Why? Because Kairos is here, and though he's friendly, reasonably friendly with us, probably, I think that's enough of that. And we could go into the mountains if we really wanted to and find the Skaven and the Greenskins here in the Darklands. Again, since the Darklands are so far and they're basically bereft of rivers other than this one river, all of the stuff here as potential allies and trading partners. Alright, fine, scout, then you're gonna go down here. Oh, but then there's a Tzeentchian faction out here. Oh, wait, there's no Tzeentchian there's Tzeentchian corruption here. I really don't want to deal with them. The Tzeentchians, I mean. You know what? Screw it. Well, let's reset your skill points. We're gonna bring you back, and then we will make use of you, because I like your trait. Alright. Then, we do have another Black Ark out here. Mr. Admiral Caliph. Ooh, you've reached rank 4. Beautiful. Alright, so first of all, go into the Sour Sea. And let's see if there's any islands here. We traveled a long way, and at least this way we'll find some rats and whatnot. Still not healing very well, so this still isn't counted as neutral waters, eh? Oh well. And then since you're a beast binder, it's time to build the beast building. Or whichever beasts we choose to bind. Alright, so harpy cages for you, and I'd love to invest in these, but I want to see if we have enough money remaining after the building. Now, what else do we need to do here? Oh, we could also sell them Laqueno. Although, what's the likelihood that they corrupt our stuff? Well, you know what, if Slaaneshi corruption starts overcoming Cainite corruption, we might have to deal with it, but in this place, it's only slowly being corrupted, and Cainite temples provide a lot of anti-corruption, so as soon as we build some here in Magritta, we'll be okay, I think. But we'll see. If they're annoying, we'll just kill Nakari. You guys... Oh, okay, let's I guess, fight this, Mr. Moksha. You're going to have to go in and... Oh, right, we need to decide whether we sack it. What was the value again? That's 4.6k. We could take it at tier 2 and immediately start building the walls here. Maybe that would be the better thing. Yeah, fine, whatever. Alright, either way we still have to strike, so strike we will. Alright, decisive victory, low casualties, the Dark Riders will die, so we'll fight it, go. Oh, yes.
For the king!
Alrighty, here we go. We have 2 armies here. Do we need 2 armies? Absolutely not. But perhaps since Moksha got hit by several armies last episode at once, it's time for him to show these animals that we can do the same thing. And the fact that they outnumber us in almost every battle is just by virtue of the fact that we allow it, and not because they have any tactical wins there. Anyway, we've got a little bit of time to wait until the reinforcements both arrive and form up, so we're going to take that time to pop off a couple of our Black Ark sport abilities. Unfortunately, unlike the Doombolt style ability, the Kane's Cauldron and the, not Kane's Lash, the other one, neither one is able to actually destroy mortar pieces, it seems, and only the artillery crew. We'll try a second pop-off of each of them and see if that can do a little bit more, but it's not looking super likely. Yeah, again, artillery crew heavily damaged, but the mortar machines themselves are fine. Well, that's alright. We've got the Dark Riders here, and I'm sure with their repeater crossbows, a couple volleys and those mortar crews and machines alike will be torn to shreds. Oh, I like the color combination with our sort of, I don't know, sea blue color scheme with the red on the Dark Riders. Actually, it looks very nice. Alright, well, and they've taken out that mortar crew at last. The enemy is moving in. Reaper bolt throwers, multi-shotting in to support railguns coming in from those Medusa, and the twin blades charge forth to duel the enemy in the center of the map. Nice little leap from some of the enemy's swordsmen, but they only leap to their deaths as the swordsmen have little to no chance against the twin blades, though admittedly, you can get Imperial state troops, as in their basic standing army troops, not their elector count state troops, the regular state troops, you know what I mean. They can get them in SFO to pretty ludicrous degrees of buffed up, so having just played the Empire, you can certainly make these guys as strong as Black Ark Corsairs. Well, not as armor-piercing, admittedly, but certainly capable of fighting them. We kept basic swordsmen around in one army for the entire Karl campaign, so yeah, there's that. Anyway, the enemy army is, for obvious reasons, being absolutely overwhelmed. We have Dark Shards and Reaper Bolt Throwers and Corsairs with handbows firing on any enemy unit, and Dark Riders riding them down, etc., etc. And only now does Murderous Prowess activate, but clearly we did not need it here. The enemy is overwhelmed, destroyed, including their lord, who is felled by concentrated fire right in front of Moksha. You could say he's mockshing them. I don't know. That was atrocious. Anyway. Alright, there we go. No problem at all, and while we did outnumber the enemy, that happens so rarely throughout a campaign that you could probably count the number in a full campaign of, I don't know, like 500 battles on one hand, so I wanted to enjoy the for once aspect of outnumbering the enemy. Well, with the exception of when you play Skaven, obviously. But yeah, for Dark Elves, definitely. Anyway, we will. I'm still tempted by sacking it, though. If we occupy it, though, we will probably be able to make use of... Nah, we should be able to make use of materials. Let's see if we can upgrade it to tier 3 immediately. Yeah, fine, don't sack it then. Leave it at tier 2, it's better. It's better. It'll pay for itself. This should go pretty quick. And in fact, we can make it go all the quicker because we won't have to deal with the conquest penalties as much, so we can go for slave drive instead and pop off the additional growth and construction cost reduction, which will definitely be allowing us to upgrade this to tier 2, and thus everything here much cheaper via materials at sea, which counteracts the losses from not sacking it. We will, however, go for demand highborn hostages as we do. Alright, Scorla Blast, sure. Not a big fan of magic missiles, but anyway. Gulf of the Bedouze is now ours. Beautiful. Alright, what do we have in terms of building? While we... Oh, wow. Look at that. We haven't done any this turn, and nonetheless. We will have to check through everything, because there is some stuff that we would probably like to rush. But not here. And not there. Not enough of a... a reason to do so. These things will upgrade themselves. Sahagun we probably will want to rush, though. And you know what, maybe we should get started on it because it's a red territory. Let us rush you. We will immediately start building the Halls of Ravaging. It's expensive due to that... maybe I should have popped off the slave drive and get the construction cost reductions here. Probably not going to save us that much, but will it save us more than acquiring the 2.5k out of open markets? Probably? Let's see. Depending on what we build here, 2.1k, 1.4k... actually, at 10% it might not. Maybe we'll go for the slave drive here then. Alright, fair enough. Slave drive it is. And then we will upgrade the Halls of Ravaging. Yeah, more for the growth than for the money saving, but anyway. Halls of Ravaging here, we'll go for a K-Knight Temple for the capacity, I guess. We could do the Black Roads here, which we haven't really done elsewhere. Since it's a red territory, though, it's better for capacities, but... Oh, wait. Do we get any capacities other than... Okay, well, K-Knight Temple is the obvious one. But yeah, not really. So we could either build the guild halls, which will make almost no money thanks to the red territory reduction. So yeah, it feels like the Black Roads would be the better option. Alright, so get rid of this and go for the K-Knight Temple, and then we'll go for the Black Roads in Sahagun. Why must there be a hill here? So rude. Anyway, which territory was this, incidentally? That was, okay, here we've got... Nothing to be building here, at least nothing critical. Malok's Lair, just keep growing as best as you can. We won't be collecting income here or here, although might be a good time to use open markets from these places. Actually, even at only plus 50, the growth might be more worth it. We do want to make use of that sacrifice to authority. Yeah, fine. Slave drive to increase the growth, and I guess we will ignore you. Miramar Hills, Scab Reach, that's the one we just did. Pina Wood, you're at public order, you're fine. Lequeno, we're gonna trade you, so we don't care. And Mount Zardel, you're in the same position. We're almost like a Horde faction, where we don't really care about the territories as much as we do the Black Arcs, so yeah. Anyway, you are going to go into Dread Expansion, and then Cammering, you're going to move on close, as we have other stuff to potentially at least conquer. Alright. Looks good to me. That means we do have at least a little bit of money remaining, which means we can get the critical buildings on the Black Arcs while we wait for them to rank up. So you're fine as you are until you reach rank 3. Ah, you're at rank 3. Beautiful. You're fine as you are, Admiral Moksha. Yes, you have gotten your Dread Manse, which means we can get Cold One Knights and Cold One Chariots starting next turn. Isn't it lovely? And I guess there's nothing else that we can get. Oh, you know what? We should probably use the next little while to get you your Soul Brazier and stuff, because this guy's going to be ready to move. And if he's ready to move, he should have a Black Arc support, at least for himself. Technically speaking, he actually doesn't need the Messenger's Lodge House, although we could take the opportunity to build like 4 Doomfire Warlocks and put them in an army. It doesn't really matter which one. Do they take more than... Did it take 1 turn to build or 2? Ooh. Wait, who gives us the ability to build Scourge Runners? Not you? Wait, how are we building Scourge Runners here? Who has a Scourge Runner building? What? Oh, it's part of the beast. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. As well it should be. Okay, not you, you.
I approve of these dark deeds.
I am looking for Doomfire Warlocks. Yes, they take 2 turns. I'm not sure we want to sit here for 2 turns just to get these guys, because they're not going to be put in, well, they might be put in one of these armies, but we need them to actually rank up for that, so I guess we'll ignore them for now. Alright, so you guys are fine as you are then. Then, the other Black Arcs. So, you can Vale. Actually don't need any upgrades, but you do need to move towards Castle Lyonesse, which we will sack for big money. And, ooh... And by the looks of it, it will give us a proper fight as well. I like it a lot. Alright, and then maybe we'll sack it, and then maybe we'll occupy... Ooh, hello, there's an island here, too. A mysterious island, you say? Okay, we'll pick that up and then go to Lyonesse, but what I was saying was, if we could sack it and then occupy it, and then trade it back to these guys, ransom it, effectively, I think that would work nicely. You are gonna sit at Port Saul, frankly... I mean, we could just attack them rather than waiting for them to sally. Yeah, there is also an option. If we attack them, does it still count as a sea battle? Because I would like the additional... wait, let me just see here. Maintain blockade. It doesn't really say anything. Yeah, terrain grassland, so I take it that counts as disembarking? I don't know. I mean, I guess we could just attack them and find out, but facing off against, what, 3.5 stacks with an army that, well, isn't quite at that level yet, is very dangerous. And a new Sorceress of Shadows who only has Melkoths available to her, so no magics. We do fairly good damage, though, regardless of whether it's the attack or not. Okay, let's finish up with whatever else we need to do, and then I will figure it out. And the other main thing that we needed to do is you. You will need to, since we do have, in fact, the money, go for the Abattoir of Cain, the Soul Furnace, the Bloodrag Cauldron. You're building the Beast Building to bind beasts, and you have the Sorceress Building. You have a Black Arc Reaver, and oh, you're gonna need a Death Hag most likely, so we'll probably go for the Altar of Cain. There's nobody else close by to bring that to you after all. Oh, you also might want a couple of artillery pieces, to be perfectly honest. Let's build those, because you might need to besiege stuff, and then we'll put beasts in place of this stuff. If you're gonna sit here anyway, I don't see why we wouldn't build artillery. Let's also level you up while you're at it, just in case you come into contact with stuff. Let's go for Flock of Doom and give us the ability to overcast it, and then you max out increase mobility. Yeah. And you're probably going to go for Greatsword in this particular army. Lords and Heroes, let's go for Plunder Troves. We should probably grab a Strength through Spite as fast as possible, and it's a little bit less costly. Anyway. I guess we just attack. I want to see if this... Okay, so wait. You... Fleet Master, Black Arc... I want to see... When attacking... Oh! Actually, we should defend. We have a massive increase to strength when we do. Alright, fine, we'll defend then. We shouldn't waste that. To be fair. Alright. One last check and then we'll end the turn and then we'll do that defending. We do have another Perfectionist Master, which is good, but not what I was looking for right now. Another Experienced Mariner. I would like, if possible, a check on the Cainite Assassins and the Death Hags. Okay, where do we have a Cainite? Okay, not enough Cainite Temples, because I have to frickin' look for one. Alright, nothing there. Artful Assassin, Master Infiltrator. Okay, still no dice on you. You know what? Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time to get the Tech Thieves up and running. Admiral Balthanol. You're able to make sorceresses, right? You can head into the interior of the territories here and get a couple of them tech thieving. You start at tier 1. I just want to see if we can have them start at a higher rank if we build them in a city rather than a Black Arc. Sorceress starts at rank 3. Ah, okay, so then we're better off building them there. I don't like the distance, though. I mean, I guess they'd have to travel for 4 turns anyway until we get the hero action success chance increase, so yeah. Anywhere where we have a Tower of Sorceresses being built closer, there's one being built at Bilbali, there's one building being built at Vizaya, meaning we'd be able to get them up and running at Grouse. You know what, fine, let's just do this. We'll rush this construction, and then we'll get both of the Sorceresses. Oh, they started rank 1 here? What the heck? Well then, never mind. That was a waste. Why are they starting at a higher rank here, then? Wherever that was. Oh, is it because it was a tier 4? Let me just see here. No, it's a tier 3. Why do they start at a higher rank here? The heck? Research rate, Hero recruiting +1 from the slave district. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that did that. We have 2 slave districts here. I'm looking for anywhere that might have 3, but no dice. Fair enough. I think the 2 levels are maybe worth it. A little bit of extra success chance. Although it'll take longer than 4 turns for you to travel there, won't it? Do I like that enough? They'll level up to rank 3 fairly fast using this anyway. Screw it, let's build them here then. Alright, we'll go for Sorceress. I know that was a long time. Enemy Hero Success Chance, Enchantments of Grond. We'll do you. And then Grouse, we will do... Master of Winds, Sorceress Talent, Monomaniacal, Masochistic, Master of the Winds. Okay, none of those really help. Okay, so we'll do the one first, then hopefully we'll be able to mill through in the 4 turns and then get another one going. What we can do for you, though, we should have an ancillary that gives us a hero action success chance plus 10% for sorceresses. There we go. Fantastic. All right, all that aside, I will shut up now. Let's end the turn and let's fight. Alright, this AI is actually starting to annoy me. You have 3.5 stacks. Actually, you probably have more than that, considering the garrison as well, and you're still too scared to attack us? Really? Yeah, we've got... it's not even a super strong army. Alright, we'll attack them, I guess. Annoying though it may be, and in fact, the only thing that we really gotta do is move Mr. Lokhir out of there. Oh. Alright, fine. We'll do the military access with you for money. Mostly so that we don't trespass. I wouldn't really care about trespassing, but they're friends with all of these guys, and while we may want to fight them later, it doesn't necessarily mean that we want to now. They don't hold enough ports to really be worth our time. At least, not really. Maybe we should occupy Valley of Windmills to trade to the Skaven in order to potentially later have them betray Nakari. There's certainly potential there. I will think about it. Either way, Mount Zardel. How much is this worth to you now? It's worth not enough. We'll give them another turn or two to get the money that they need, that we want, together, and then we'll deal with it. Yo. Steel Tech is, 7% wounded. I mean, I guess if you get wounded, we'll just replace you with another one, right? Even if we do still have to wait for 3 more turns. Yeah, fine. Go to St. Jacques and give it a try. And that's with the extra 10% success chance. So yeah, we really do need that sacrifice. Hey, success. Well done. Maybe I should have started you at level 3 after all. Okay, anyway. You have annoyed me greatly. Sigmarsheim, whatever. So it's time. I'm gonna say none of this really matters here. Try to get towards strength through spite as fast as possible, so plunder troves. Fine. I guess we're attacking. Close to feet? Away we go. We can always back off after all. For slaughter indeed. Moksha may have faced off against 3 stacks previously, and it's time for Balthanal and his shades to prove that he very much can do the same. And I guess since Lokhir plays rather differently from the other Dark Elven factions, as in normally you'd be starting the games with your basic armies full of Dread Spears, Reaper Bolt Throwers, and Dark Shards. We would normally be seeing with Dark Elves a lot more of the range units doing things, but only now are we starting to see a little bit more of the range work. Not from Dark Shards, which will still pop into another army, but from Shades, but crossbows, basically, is what I'm getting at, since we essentially skip the Dark Shard and Dread Spear early game combo that we would normally be using. Either way, the Shades are stronger, especially due to the bleed application on those range attacks. Bleed is nasty on melee troops and range troops alike, and we've deployed all of our Shades over on the left flank of the enemy. We may not have Druki First Strike available to us here, but we don't need it, since about half of our army is Vanguard deployable anyway. We keep 2 units of Black Ark Corsairs with handbows there to sort of protect the Shades. Not that the Shades really need that much protection, in the sense that they can certainly fight in melee, and they are also hybrid units. Not quite as likely to be sent into melee, let's say, as the Black Ark handbows, but nonetheless. Or Corsair handbows, rather. Ooh, and a nice Black Ark Sport ability comes down on a unit of handgunners and Free Company Militia, all the while crossbow bolts continue to obliterate the enemy's flank. Admittedly, this is only one flank of one enemy army. We've got so many more coming in as reinforcements, and we're certainly going to have to be careful here. Especially since we waited for the mod to come in, so that we fight everyone here buffed up rather than without SFO stats. And vanilla stats compared to SFO stats are very, very low by comparison. Anyway, the enemy is milling around, partly waiting for reinforcements, obviously firing back with their ranged troops, their handguns, and their crossbows. But imagine human crossbows even thinking that they could match Dark Elven repeater crossbows. It's pretty unlikely. That said, it looks like the anthill has been kicked and they're annoyed enough to start moving towards us. Wardens of the West attempt to charge us, those Bretonnian auxiliaries, but they're merely mounted yeomen, and even with the shields, they're probably not going to survive too many volleys from the Corsair handbows. They will back off as they continue firing, mostly because this screws with the enemy's charging capabilities, especially as the enemy gets slowed down by the stagger shot of the shades with great swords as well. However, while the mounted yeomen have been obliterated, Drakvold riders do manage to make their way through. They do have bleed and stagger shot on them now, and with the stagger shot, they're down to a mere 35 speed, only slightly faster than Imperial infantry and slower than our own infantry. That said, they have closed the distance, and those guys do have Strider, so because that's what the Drakvold riders have. And they're still pretty darn solid. Anyway, many more reinforcements coming in, and we just gotta keep on firing. Fortunately, we've got ammo for days, at least on the and shades with, well, both of the types of shades. And now with Murderous Prowess active, we can make more of that ammo. And though I am starting to think that perhaps we will take the ammo buff on the Black Arcs. Remember, we have a choice of a faction-wide buff on the Black Arcs, but I feel like you should pick one of the lines and then do the same thing on all the Black Arcs, because only a single one is just 3% ammo or 4% vigor loss reduction for monsters. So either you stack it so you get like 30% or 40% or whatever, and by taking it on 10 Black Arcs, or yeah. That's basically what I'm getting at. And I have been noticing that at least a few of the units have been running out of ammo. Anyway, over in the center of the map, an enemy Empire captain has been defeated by the Death Hag here. Is just ignoring him now. one last blow with those daggers. Hey, come on now. I like that he looks like he's trying to run away, and the Death Hag is just like slowly walking. But anyway, either way, he's been defeated. I guess it's not super important, and since it's such a big distributed battle, it's kind of hard to tell where to look exactly. The enemy Arch-Elector has been defeated as well by Admiral Balthanal, though Balthanal here has taken a little bit of damage for his trouble. And if this looks like we're winning, as yet, we are very much not. There's still at least one more full stack moving on to the battlefield right now, and another full stack waiting in the wings as a reinforcement. The unfortunate aspect of that, of course, being that the Shades are at last pretty much out of ammunition, and decent likelihood we're going to have to wade into melee. Another Empire General has arrived, going for the, by the looks of it, greatsword Shades. Not going to work out so well for you, sir. Those are armor-piercing greatswords, and you are going to have to deal with 60 magical melee attack. Yeah. Good luck with that. And of course the Death Hag is there to help out as well, so the general is down to about half HP. Alright, so over on our right flank, it does look like the enemy still has troops available. Obviously, this is not where we had our Shades concentrated, so it does make sense that more of the enemy units got through, though that same situation is probably going to repeat itself on various sides of the map now that the Shades are pretty much out of ammunition. Now, since they're out of ammo, no longer able to provide range support, we're going to move those Shades, most of them that are out of ammo, around the enemy. They can go back into hidden via stock, and we're going to loop them around the enemy army to hit them in the flank. They're still going to have a lot of enemy range units coming in from reinforcements. We can see tons of crossbows, free company, and whatnot. And we're just going to have to fight them in melee. Which is fine. It's one of the things Shades are for. And how's that balance of power looking? Still very much in the enemy's favor, as they still have reinforcements coming in, but we're just going to have to whittle down those humans. The last two units that have ammunition are still firing away, of the Shades I mean. I'm gonna have to try to concentrate fire on some critical units. Ooh, a little bit late, but the war wagon unit moves onto the field, and hopefully somebody has enough ammunition, maybe like the Reaper bolt throwers, to bring some of them down right after the Outriders with grenade launchers. Unfortunately, we had bad luck in drawing some of the more annoying and elite enemy units like the grenade launchers and the war wagons late into the battle when we were out of ammunition. Of course, we could have kept a couple units in reserve with ammo specifically for that, but I don't know if that would have worked out so well either, as it would have allowed the enemy more critical mass to break through our lines. Another volley from those grenades, and it looks like this unit of Black Ark Corsair with handbows, anti-large handbow crossbow bolts or handbow bolts aside, are taking severe damage now, and the enemy is using these trees for cover, both from the handbows and from the Reaper bolt throwers, which, while an accidental, I'm sure, deployment from the AI, is one I do have to give credit for. Good for them. Can't be letting those Outriders with grenade launchers run away, though. Their enemy only has one unit of those, and we are moving in now with the Black Ark Corsairs. A few of them will take Reaper bolt thrower bolts from their own, but that's alright. We just gotta make sure that those grenade launchers are shattered and can't come back. The final stack has arrived here, and one of our Reaper bolt throwers is just running out of ammunition. The other one is at all the shades but one are done now and have marched into melee, hitting the Free Company militia and halberds and starting to tear through them with those twin blades of theirs. And of course, the shades with twin blades are going to, let's see, be anti-infantry. I got a little bit of anti-large on them as well. Their armor-piercing weapon damage, however, is rather poor compared to the Black Ark Corsairs, which do plenty more armor-piercing damage. That said, the Free Company militia and such and crossbows and whatnot are still fairly low on armor themselves, so the shades should still be quite the menace for them to deal with. And over on the front lines, we still have the remnants of our Black Ark Corsairs fighting. Balthanol is leading them personally. He's down to half HP, and pretty much all of our Corsairs are down to like 10 to 20% of their HP. It's definitely going to be a close battle, and the enemy is still, or the balance of power is still very much in the enemy's favor. Once again, I do find myself wishing that there was a way to delay the murderous prowess rather than activate it early. But oh well. Just gonna have to deal. And we won't allow a Black Ark to sink, so well, I guess they can't sink it anyway because we attack them here and via blockade. And ooh, it looks like the enemy has reached critical mass with army losses, and with that, the entire army, or what remains of it, will shatter. Does make sense, as pretty much all of their melee was gone, and our Shades and Black Ark Corsairs alike should have been able to cut down any of those range units without too much trouble, including the Free Company militia. And while the Free Company militia are amazing, and I love them, the AI doesn't really understand how to use close quarters infantry very well like them. And probably the same thing can be said of the Black Ark Corsairs, but the Free Company militia are a more fragile variant of that unit archetype, so if the AI doesn't use them properly, then, well, it's not going to get too much mileage out of them. Anyway, there we are. I'm going to chase down whatever we can, since a lot of the enemy came in as reinforcements, and Balthanol achieves a storied and heroic victory. Ooh, there we go. An absolutely magnificent fight. Probably the best fight in the campaign so far. And Admiral Balthanol, very well done, sir. Still annoyed at the AI for being a coward and not attacking us directly with their 3.5 stacks. But nonetheless, every single unit other than the Handbow Corsairs, and that was partly because they were already in melee for half the battle, ran out of ammunition, so all of our Shades waded into the fight with Twin Blade and with Great Sword alike. Obviously, our Twin Blade Corsairs were in the fight from the beginning, but the Shades had the advantage of bleed application as well as range into melee, so massive amounts of damage. 500 kills on pretty much all of the dual weapon variant, which fire further, and less damage on the Shades with Great Swords. Why? Because these guys have they have stagger shot instead of bleed, and obviously less range as well. but it does make sense that without the damage over time application, they do more damage. Obviously, the army would be ludicrously overpowered if we just, you know, spam nothing but shades, but I find that to be, let's say, not as interesting as this, and keeps it a little bit more balanced with finding more difficult fights. Anyway, I think some units in this army deserve names after all of that, and the Reaper Bolt Throwers did well as well. We're keeping them. Anyway, we will sack the place. Like so. Alright, these guys are going to back off. Enemy killed in battle, and both in all you can... can you return to the Great Ocean to heal, or no? No, it's all Coast of Lyonesse, isn't it? Well, that's a little bit of a shame, but there isn't much we can do about that. Martel is not recovered yet from the sacking previously. And these guys won't peace out. I was tempted to occupy it and then trade it back to them, but I guess we're done here, at least for now. Another Black Ark can come on by once these guys have recovered and sack them again. Very well done, Mr. Balthanol. Let's do a couple names, shall we? Alright, you Dread Expansion first, and... Ooh! Yes, Gargantuan Black Ark. Perfect. Alright. That'll mean we will be free, I guess, to get rid of the Estates of the Masters, I take it? And then we could build a... well, probably something we'd like for capacities, or for... we have the Shades building, which is the critical thing here. Oh, technically we don't really need the arena here either, especially since this arc will operate on its own. We could replace that with the Palace of Dread Knights and the Dragon Tower, both of which provide us massive capacities. And then... well, actually, if we get rid of the arena right now, we can build that building, and then we'll get rid of the Estates of the Masters in a little bit of a while afterwards. Anyway, like I was saying, let's give these guys a few names. They deserve it. Keel Haulers for you, and Aminar's Reapers for you. Let's do 2 of the handbows then as well. Hydra's Fangs, and of course, Chthonic Creed. There we go. Let's do one of the dual weapon shades, I guess. All the shades will need names as well. Hatred's Whispers for you. Originally, it was supposed to be a Dark Shard's name, but I think the stronger unit has earned it. Plus, the Whispers thing also feels a little bit more shade appropriate. Oh, let's name one of the Reaper Bolt Throwers as well. Not what I was typing. Long Touch of the Sea. There we go. Alright. And that's good enough for now, I think. You got 2 levels out of that, unsurprisingly. Let's bump up that raid leader to increase the Shade's power in melee and, well, in range as well, but the charge bonus will help them in melee. We're not able to cast, and well, much. You could really use that Penumbral Pendulum for future battles. Death Hag can be a while until you get that Cauldron of Blood, although this might be one of the Death Hags we actually keep on foot. Huh. I guess there is no Madness of Cain on these guys. Interesting. Whatever. We will go for Impassioned here, yes, for the defenses, and then the Black Ark Reaver. Yeah, now it's time, I guess, to start moving through increase mobility, but then we'll still go through Strength through Spite. Beautiful. Anything else that you need to do? You're upgrading your stuff, and yeah, everything else is fine. Kenwovel, did you move this turn? You did not, so you're ready to hit Castle Lyonesse. Did I move everybody else? I think I did. Alrighty, and Pyrrhic Victory. Okay, well, we'll give them a chance to get another army here and sally out. I don't think they will, but we'll give them a chance. I mean, we could obviously knock down the towers and the walls with the artillery and still fight right now. Oh, wait. Rank 7, so whoops, definitely want to grab the Ravager rewards. Armor plus 10 for Black Ark Corsairs. And then the Witch Elves and stuff. Just think about this. Do we want to waste the turn? Oh, right. Wait. Cancel the blockade for a second. I forgot about the Mysterious Island. Oh, there. I pressed maintain blockade by accident instead of the thing that I wanted to press, which is retreat for a second. Then and go grab the Mysterious Island. And hopefully you can return here. Mushroom Stew, your army will be better in battle, and then return here. Hey, Curse of Cannibalism, that'll be real nice. Alright, and you know what, just because I don't want to click that 50,000 times again, I think we're just gonna go for the fight, so let's do it.
Honor the king.
Alrighty, here we go. We have a couple of debuts. Our Death Hag has her Shrine of Cain at last, which is pretty darn nice. And we've got this. Let's see, what was it again? Not Fury of Cain, but there it is. A Blood Shield of Cain plus 15% physical resistance in area, which is pretty solid. Like I was saying earlier, it is nice to generally have a couple of Death Hags in your army, specifically for the aura, and especially if you're going to use relatively unarmored units. Well, no, not relatively, but unarmored units like the Witch Elves. And admittedly, the Medusae, the Bloodrack Cauldrons are also, well, similar type of support unit that you probably want to have a couple of, but, well, not yet. Maybe we'll pop one into this army as well in a second Death Hag if we feel like it later, but for now, the Twin Blades of the Black Ark Corsairs and the Twin Daggers of the Witch Elves will have to suffice. 80 melee attack with magical damage, 74 weapon strength, admittedly low armor piercing, but that's alright. They'll work nicely together with the Twin Blade Black Ark Corsairs, which have high armor, well, reasonably high armor piercing, and a similar level of weapon strength as well. Anyway, all that aside, we're going to have to wait until we can properly wade into combat here. 245 range on the peasant bows when docked on those walls. Good lord. 103 leadership on peasants. Wow. Okay. Peasants have higher leadership than the Black Ark Corsairs do. Go figure. It's a lot of buffs. Inside Fort 5, flanks secured 5, siege defender 10, and then something disappeared. And it's being lowered slightly by being attacked by artillery. Peasants duty 5 as well. Base value 40, defending a victory point 25, difficulty modifier 8. That's a lot of buffs. Well, it's going to take a while for us to deal with them, but all good. Reaper bolt throwers, as we can see, are very much running out of ammunition here. They've knocked down the enemy towers and have knocked down the enemy gate and are hoping to knock down the enemy walls as well. We'll want to obviously breach the walls as we have no other range units. No butt ladders to rely upon either, so we're just going to have to send on in and cut everyone down. Now, the enemy does have an artillery piece, and, well, it's down to 2. We do have the Doom Bolt ability here, so we have used it twice on the Blessed Field Trebs, and we'll use it hopefully one more time to bring down another one. Since it's an anti-single unit type of ability, it looks like it targets the actual, like so, the actual artillery pieces, and destroys them. Now, at least the Blessed Field Trebuchet, while I'm sure still being quite annoying, will be able to deal a lot less damage than it once did. Anyway, it's time to move. For obvious reasons, we're sending the Black Ark Corsairs in first, as they're going to be a little bit less vulnerable to range fire from the enemy peasants. Especially the pox arrows have very, well, relatively little armor-piercing weapon damage at 5. Not obviously to the degree of like 1 of Skaven Slave Slingers, but obviously not going to be enough to threaten the Black Ark Corsairs too much. 100 armor and 20 missile resistance and 10 physical is pretty solid for basic units. And weathering the storm, as it were, to take a phrase from Marauder Berserkers. Anyway, we are closing in now. Looks like the enemy stands with a unit of foot squires and men-at-arms with polearms, as the Twin Blades make their way through all those breaches, and of course the Witch Elves getting ready to move on in as well. The enemy will countercharge with a unit of Questing Knights, and that's a lot of armor piercing on their great weapons. For their cost, Questing Knights might be the better unit than Grail Knights, depending on how you think about it. They're pretty up there, because they're a lot easier to acquire and obviously cheaper than Grail Knights are, but are also incredibly effective. And it also kind of feels obnoxious to have more than a couple of units of Grail Knights because they're super overpowered. But anyway, we drop a, I don't know, Common of Cassandura equivalent ability, and that heralds the way. I call it a K-Knight ritual ability. K-Knight magic does exist, and there are lots of examples of it in the, well, we've seen several examples of it in the Malice Darkblade books, for example, but there's a bunch of K-Knight magics. I don't know if one can bring a comet down, but there's some crazy bloodstorm type stuff that they can do. So, yeah, anyway. Witch Elves are in is what I'm getting at, and they're going to start cutting down those enemy units together with the Black Ark Corsairs. And this is what this particular army is all about. No need to rely on range other than to bring the walls down. And there we go, Murderous Prowess and Murderous Mastery active, depending on if you're a Corsair or a Witch Elf. And the Witch Elves will get bumped up to 121 melee attack and 90 rather, weapon strength with additional armor-piercing damage as well. So that should be pretty good. Bounce power has shifted to about 85% in our favor, and pretty much every single location where our troops have made contact with the enemy, and the enemy is being cut down in droves. They just don't have the elite units in order to sort of hold back our attacks. 105 attack on the Black Ark Corsairs as well, compared to the 44 on those foot squires, though the melee defense is equivalent. Good for them, but it's not going to be high enough to deal with us. Obviously, with most of these being garrison units, you also got to remember that they're going to be unbuffed compared to regular units, but anyway. It looks like some Knights of the Realm have arrived. Or some more Knights of the Realm, although the other ones were questing Knights, have arrived with the enemy Paladin trying to escape the, I guess, a Death Hag or whatever was attacking him here, or the mob of Witch Elves with whom the Dreadlord is moving around. And move on in, the Witch Elves keeping close to that Death Hag and her Shrine of Cain for obvious reasons. And that additional physical resistance, actually out of curiosity, let's take a look at the unit of Witch Elves. So, with their own physical resistance, there we go, they're up to 40% when near a Death Hag. And then we got the Curse of Cannibalism to rely upon right now, so we have the regeneration, and we also have 10% ward save as well, which we can get higher with techs, and I believe levels as well. So the Witch Elves are eventually going to get extremely resistant to non-magical damage, basically. And somewhat resistant to magical damage with ward save. But anyway, there we go. Looks like the Knights of the Realm are done, and as soon as the peasants see their knights flee, only the Battle Pilgrims will remain. Fortunately, either Black Ark Corsair or Witch Elf will be pretty darn effective at cutting the Battle Pilgrims down. 40 armor isn't too bad, but it's not good enough here. Alright, just gotta wait it out until we see the last of the Battle Pilgrims cut down. And I'm sure they're hopeful that they will get cut down rather than taken as prisoner here. There we go, all that twin blade and twin dagger work are real fun. Not so much for the peasants, but otherwise. There we go. Oh, actually, I lied. There's a tiny little remnant of a unit. I guess I completely ignored that until telling the rest of the entire army to cut these guys down. I think I missed these guys while they were in the shadow of this little building here. But not to worry, the Witch Elves didn't miss them. And there we go with that, the last of the Battle Pilgrims falls and the enemy army is defeated. Nice little siege, especially for an army that I would say isn't, generally speaking, amazing at sieges due to the lack of range attack, but still, very, very fun, and I'm excited to see more. There we go. Like the Witch Elves keep screaming, glorious carnage. And it looks like in the contest of killing us between the Witch Elves and the Black Ark Corsairs, the Black Ark Corsairs come out ahead just a teensy bit. And with the Mark of Murder and the Dual Edgelords leading the pack. That said, they were first into the fray, and thus it makes sense that they got more blows in than the Witch Elves did, because the Witch Elves would have had to have gone through them. Solid damage, nearly 40k on the Sorceress of Beasts via those Flocks of Doom, and the Death Hag, and now that she has her mount, getting tons and tons of kills and damage as well. Very nice, and yet another reason once again to have Death Hag, or possibly multiple Death Hags if we have extra capacity in various armies. Anyway, that's another sack. 15k and 517 slaves for our trouble. And the Curse of Cannibalism, I'm sure, helped tremendously there. Now, out of curiosity, these guys are willing to peace out, eh? I mean, they have no more coastal territories. I do wonder, can Movale land here? And occupy. I have two things for you. Oh, hello. I wonder if we can trade it to the Drowned. I forgot they were here, and it looks like they're fighting with all of these guys. I wonder how much it's worth to them. I was going to trade it back to these guys, but I wonder who will pay more. Castle Lyonesse, worth 7,000 money. How much is it worth to Lyonesse itself? It's worth roughly the same, so kind of meh either way. I guess it depends on if we bother maintaining an alliance with these guys. Admittedly, I think they'll die, but them menacing the coast also kind of amusing. Anyway, there's two things we want to do here. First thing first is the Sisters of the Singing Doom Witch Elves were earmarked to be popped into this army, so they will. There we go. We have turned the Blessed Dread into a rather Cainite arc. Now, the other thing that I wanted to do is the 4 turns. Oh man, I really don't want to sit here for 4 turns, though. I was going to get the Creeping Dread, 1 unit of Creeping Dread in this army. We don't have a building that reduces the time it takes to construct troops here, do we? I don't think we do. Man, I really very strongly don't want to spend 4 turns sitting there. Huh, maybe there's a tech for it. 2 turns I could take. Huh. There is one potential other option, is to recruit another Black Ark out of Lyonesse, and then sort of put it out to sea where hopefully it'll be safe, and then have it recruit stuff. Maybe that's the best option. Alright, we'll try that next turn. Oh, wait, actually it won't be able to, because it doesn't. You need the tier 5 to recruit the Creeping Dread. I really don't want to sit here for 4 turns. It's kind of psychotic. I mean, I guess technically Balthanol can recruit one as well, but he's also done in terms of his army. Alright, fine. You can sit here for 4 turns. It's gonna annoy me, but it is what it is. We gotta get the first one up and running. And then Lokhir's gonna have to do the same, but with him I think we'll wait until we can build like 4 of them at once. As long as we have 1 on the field, it's better than nothing. There's not any way to rush recruitment, is there? Generates money, experience gain for units, and that's all just swell, but doesn't help us in this particular situation. Alright, well, we're gonna trade this away, so we might as well repair it and build a military structure here. Oh, wait. Do any of these structures help in terms of quick building? No. No. Come on. Because I'd rush a building, I wouldn't mind. Well, we do have the surplus after all. Control, no, really nothing. Casualty or punishment rate, leadership, income, control, corruption, control, hero recruit rank, and construction time. Yeah, nothing will speed up our... Oh well, it's fine. We'll get rid of one of the Black Ark Corsairs, nice though they may be. Like so. And we'll replace that 1 unit with our first Creeping Dread. Alright. And we'll get more shortly as soon as we have some tier 5s. Anyway, looks like we're good. We did a decent amount of these troops survive. Maybe I should have stayed at Portsall and done that again, but whatever. We'll deal. We'll deal. Is that the only thing that we had to do this turn? Oh, no. We still have moves to make. And you guys can move again. Oh, right. We ended the turn. That's why we have stuff to do. Now... You are unable to reach Kesselbrian by land. I wonder if you'd be able to reach it by water. You can now move again. I'd like to move you towards Cassillon here, probably going towards Alcazaro, aren't you? Giant pile of peasants. Alright, well, Moksha, you... Oh, you actually need to recruit your own forces. Honestly, I think this army should be able to deal with that just fine. It is just a pile of peasants, and I assume they can't attack one Black Ark without the others. You're not recruiting anymore, correct? Correct. Alright, so here's what we'll do. We will... You can't reach us here. Alright. You've got one unit. Okay, that unit of Dread Spears is going to bother me. And you're not... Well, actually, you're close to rank 10 now. Let's pop the 3 Dark Shards in here then, and lose the 1 Dread Spear and pop another Black Ark Corsair in here. Alright. Like so. Then you... I'm going to go right here, and the rest of you are going to sort of stick around nearby. Like so, and like so. Oh, hopefully this army won't come in as a reinforcement. Well, I mean, we'll be fine. Alright, like so, and like so. We will need to construct the critical buildings, which is you and you, and then you can go to Grand Black Ark, and then you are... might as well get the arena and the prison wing. You're looking to go to tier 4. As soon as you can. We need to figure out what your army is going to look like. You master. Hikari favorite. Oh, right. We're at least temporarily going to keep you in Moksha's army, who will actually... Okay, wait. You can't reach us, can you? Okay, so Moksha. I would like then you to set sail, I guess. Well, actually it ultimately doesn't really matter much. What I would like you to do is take the units from this army. Alright, and what we need here is space for 7 units. 1, 2, we will get rid of... Alright, that's 6, and I guess one of these gives us 7. Alright. Then, Il-Rishan, you can go into Moksha's army. Now he has 2 masters, though again I might swap them out to a different army. Actually, you... Okay, it's gonna annoy me that you're not beside each other. Let's do that. Alright, there we go. Then you are here to build... Ooh, we get Black Guard of Nagaron capacity now. And we want... Oh, we only had capacity for 2 Cold One Knights? That's going to bother me. Oh. Also, do you have the arena building? You do not. You guys have arena buildings, don't you? Huh. We can increase the recruit rank, but then we'd have to move back, and then we'd waste a turn, and cav level pretty fast. Alright, so I'd like you to get 2 Cold One... you know what? 4 Cold One Chariots, and 1 Cold One Knights. Oh, we'll need another one. Well, it is what it is. Build that for now, and then we'll build the last Cold One Knight as well. If you're wondering why 2 Cold One Knights, it's because they're anti-large. We need something to protect the Cold One Chariots from enemy cavalry charges. Alright, Tempest of Talons. You've been waiting for those Talons, admittedly, a while now, so we gotta get you those. Anyway, Lokhir has moved. Cammering is not moved. I wonder if you can land at Castle Brienne by sea, but at the same time we can have... Oh, actually you can't go there next turn anyway. Brienne is relatively poorly defended. Huh, you know what? Go by sea then, or give it a try at least. On the prowl. Who knows? It might work out in our favor. And... let's see. Hey, alrighty. I will give them a chance to take us out in the field. At least buy us a drink first. You can have the Burning Head, I'm gonna say. Oh, yeah, Burning Head. Giant pile of peasants, after all, they will... we'll probably use that against them. Alright, that looks good to me. Then, the sorceresses have moved, or the sorceress has moved. Anybody else? Oh, again, it's so annoying that we can't see who's moved and who hasn't. Have you moved, Caliph? You have not. Alright, go here. Please tell me there's an island here. If we came here for nothing, I'm going to be extremely salty. Guess it's appropriate that we're playing a Corsair faction then. And yeah, it looks like there's no islands here. Well, darn. Last time I played there were several, but it's alright because you needed to build stuff anyway. And I guess heal up because your healing is just atrocious right now. Anyway, go for Infamous Raider. And then as soon as you can build that Shrine of Cain as well to get yourself a Death Hag, because we're gonna need one. Alrighty. Anybody else need to move? Dekun Kar, you... Oh, you're one of these guys. Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Alright. Quick hero check. Actually, you know what? Screw it. We'll do it next turn. I don't want to do it again. Let us do buildings, though, because that's still quite important. Ah, yes. Okay, so this was always important. Dark City here. We have 4 more turns of materials at sea. Do we want to rush you immediately? We can afford to. Go for it. I don't know if we can afford to build all of these buildings now since we used all of the resources we had, but whatever. Build all the important stuff here nonetheless. We have the Tower of Dark Rituals, we may as well build the Dread Manse, and since we have only 5 turns, we could rush it and build it. Well, I guess we could save on... just do it now. Do it now and build the tier 5. I just want access to all the tier 5 stuff as fast as possible. And anything else interesting? We could build another military structure, but I don't see the need. This gives us control, but the control I think in this particular place will be fine. Could make a little bit of money, but it also not super critical. This is our main sort of military province. Construction time -20, income from trade tariffs. Maybe we do the Black Roads just for... We'd make more money probably out of the guild halls than we would that, though. But at the same time, we could use more masters capacity, and it is a military province. This doesn't increase our... It does not increase our... I was wondering whether it would increase our... recruit rank. Not of heroes, but of units. Does anything do that here? Capacity, unit experience, it does not. Well then, screw you too. Alright, well then, let's just build another one of these. Military province after all. Alright, looks good to me. Still a little bit of cash remaining. Greedos Road. Ooh, Muros is up to... Ooh, that's perfect. We will immediately upgrade you, and we'll immediately rush you. And go for that Temple of Cain. The critical thing, however, is the Tower of Dark Rituals, and... This is a money-making territory, meaning we will want to get both the... Well, most likely, let's say, we'll want to get the arena... Well, not the arena. The slave market, which I guess we could start building. And then we will want the guild halls. That'll leave 2 spaces, which means until we do get those, we can build another structure. I'm going to say the Dragon Hatchery rather than the Dread... Oh, this increases local recruitment capacity. And gives us control. Which forgoes the need for torture posts, doesn't it? I guess it is the better thing, then. I was gonna say this because it gives us additional trade goods in the cages, but nonetheless. How much money will this give us? 20% for all regions in province. 1, 2... Only for slave income, but maybe we're better off waiting until we're tier 5. Yeah, screw it, just build the Dreadmans. Alrighty, good enough. And we have 32 money remaining. Do we have any kind of deals we want to get going? The Drowned want to be friends, Clan Gouger want to be defensive allies, Confederation still no dice, but that's alright. All the Skavens still love us, as well they should. And Portalo Errant nearly want peace, but I don't think we care about that. Clan Gouger I feel like is gonna die, so we could in theory take their money before they do. The Legion of Asgore is not gonna like it. Yeah, they're kinda upset about the whole thing. But you know what, it's free money. It feels like a appropriately Dark Elven thing to do, to ally with these guys knowing that they'll die, take all their stuff. 2.9k, why not? And we can always just cancel the agreement in 10 turns if they survive. Beautiful. Alrighty. Drowned, Ricket, Shadow Legion, yeah, we're ignoring most of the Chaos factions. And what do we have here? Nothing interesting? I'm gonna say nothing interesting. Scry Reneshin. Oh, also we have a... ally mission. Let's go after... Really? So we have Eleanor who's out here, but not either of the ones that are near us? Come on, game. What are you doing? Alright, well, we'll take that. It's better than nothing. Though I'm not so sure there's any Skaven troops that I really particularly want. The other potential thing is, how much is Mount Zardel worth to you? Mount Zardel is worth Oh, right, we checked that this turn? I thought that was last turn. Okay, fine, we'll just wait until you're richer. We did get the money then, so can we build anything else? Zephyro Hills, yes to the upgrade, and here we were going to go for one of the Black Roads, because there is no other capacity that we can get. Next, we got the Estalian Highlands, which we're looking to trade, and Mount Zardel. Ooh, maybe this place is worth less. Let's see. Laqueno is worth... alright. Wait until they can pay us more cash. Let the Lyonesse live up on the mountains and do whatever it is they do there. I don't want to know. Well, maybe a little. Anyway, outpost available, ignored, and turn. They will indeed sally out against Cammering, who now is moving alone. Still has Black Ark support, but otherwise is on his own now. Good luck, sir. All right, here we go. Loving how we're getting all of our new units on the field. We're seeing the Witch Elves and the Shrines of Cain with the Death Hags working, and now we got the Medusa and the Harpies and the Dark Riders as well. We'll see how well they all can do. Now the Harpies are extremely fragile, but their stats are actually pretty darn solid. We can also get another 10 armor-piercing weapon damage on them as soon as we get the tech upgrade, so they'll become even stronger. More importantly, Harpies provide bleed, so they can still dish out a lot of work, especially to fragile enemy units, especially the Crows of Cain, Regiment of Renown. Anyway, we're going to start the battle up by moving in our Dark Riders. Now, Dark Riders are not able to fire while moving, and they don't have a 360-degree firing arc, as they are a crossbow-type light cav, so you do have to be careful with their positioning and stuff. Now, that said, they do have Shield Breaker, and they're sort of a good unit to have, sort of interspersed amongst your units. Generally speaking, you can almost see them as a light cav that you use to harass the enemy a little bit, but then you return them to your main line in order to help with that shield breaker, especially for units like Dark Shards. For ranged heavy armies, and this is one of the reasons we have them in this army, which is a pretty darn ranged focused army with only the 4 units of Corsairs with handbows really able to fight in melee. Anyway, the first of the enemy units of Knights are destroyed, foolishly having followed the Dark Riders close to our line, where they got netted up by the vile net of the Black Ark Reaver. And now they're still trying to book it on out of there. We'll make sure to pincushion them. There we go. Will any live to tell the tale? And there's one, and oh no, there won't be any. All right. Well, that works for me. Also, Mr. Cammering now on that Scourge Runner chariot. So plenty of anti-large missile damage on the on the Scourge Runner. And yes, we'll be certainly putting some of these things to good use. I don't know whether there's a trait that buffs them specifically, but this Barb Storm trait does work for them as well, so if we end up getting another Black Ark with Barb Storm, maybe we'll pop in a few of those chariots in there, or maybe we'll have another Beastmaster with them. I'll think about it. Ooh, unfortunately, all the way over on our right flank, I did leave the Dark Riders repeater crossbows in skirmish mode, and somehow, despite being in skirmish and being 15 move speed faster than the Knights Errant here, the Knights Errant somehow managed to magically catch them. Every time I try skirmish mode without babysitting the unit, I think every single time I get disappointed. But what can you do? Anyway, enemy lord foolishly moves in, attempting to go for the Black Ark Reaver for some reason, only to get cut down by all the range firepower. And I guess this is due to the anthill being kicked and the enemy army moving towards us. Understanding, I guess, that all the enemy cavalry is going to take a lot of hits from all of our Dark Riders, and thus either having to move towards us or take hits while they slowly move together with the peasants. Unfortunately, closing the distance doesn't help all that much, since we have those vile nets as well. Disrupted, silenced, vile net, shield breaker. Yeah. Another unit of knights is done for, and the knights errant will never earn the right to wear a helm and become a knight of the realm. Lovely. All right, peasants still moving towards us now that their knightly masters are mostly defeated. There is one more unit moving in over on the right flank, and we're going to have to deal with it. Fortunately, the knights errant are a rather fragile knight-type unit, and thus we should be able to destroy them with the harpies. We send in our Lord Cammering and one of the Medusae into melee to essentially take the charge from the knights, and then surround them and drop harpies down upon them from every side, who tear through them rather quickly. Between being poisoned and bleeding, they probably didn't have that much of a chance. Now, the peasants have at last closed the distance with another lord still around. Smartly, this lord kept back, unlike the other lord or the paladin or whoever decided to move on in. Men-at-Arms versus Blackheart Corsairs with handbows, probably not going to go so well for the enemy Men-at-Arms. Despite the fact that we're a close-quarters infantry, the hybrids can fight pretty darn well in melee, as we've seen before. A Burning Head comes down and clips a couple of the enemy units of peasants in the meantime. I just wanted to make sure that we popped it off before sending all the harpies down upon the peasants below. Now, this is something that the harpies are extremely adept at, and they should be able to tear right through all those bows. And it looks like we've got several of them already routing. Lovely. And it looks like the murderous prowesses here, a pretty decent time for it, I gotta say. It'll speed up all of our units' work. Not the monstrous units, I guess, huh? Actually, do the Crows of Cain get a benefit from it? Crow Feast as their regen type thing, but yeah, no. I was wondering whether the Crows of Cain would be unique in actually having a murderous, the ability to use murderous mastery. But I guess without Rakarth, no monsters get it. But that's alright, though. They don't need it, especially not here, as the rest of the peasants will break. The enemy lord will be obliterated, and the battle is ours. Good luck to all the peasants running from those harpies. Frankly, good luck to the enemy lord, as Medusas are pretty darn quick. 65 speed at, oh, very good. There we go. I couldn't even tell whether that was a bolt from the Scourge Runner that brought him down, or the Bloodrack Medusa delivering the final blow. It's good either way. Anyway, horrific time for the rest of the peasants as they run off field, and a lovely victory for us. Alright, there we go. Cammering's army working pretty darn nicely in this particular situation. Do have to be careful with our relatively limited melee lines, such as it is, but pretty much everything functions as it should. Cammering did fairly well on his chariot with his 10,000 damage. The Fear Shooters and the other Dark Shards went for their shootout with the enemy Peasant Bowmen, while the Reaper Bolt Throwers knocked out single entities and enemy Knights. The Dark Riders harassed them, minus the one that got damaged. Basically, the only unit got damaged because I trusted the frickin' skirmish mode. Never trust the skirmish mode. But what can you do? And then, of course, yeah, the Harpies. 239, 259, and 168 kills. Lots of damage as they tore through those poor peasant archers. Since we only got one unit damaged, much as I'd love to take the cash, I think we'll just enslave. We do have 919 slaves out of it anyway, so it's not like we're getting nothing. Alright, enemy killed in battle, Crown of Command for Cammering. Probably not for you, probably for one of the masters or somebody who increases those stats so we can, you know, sort of buff them up more. Now, let's take a wee little look-see on what we have in terms of new... Hey, another Blood Brewers. That's solid, we'll need another one of these then. Let's get a... Blood Brews, Death Hag, but that's not what I was looking for. I was looking for sorceresses, specifically any sorceresses that would be, there we go, Enchantments of Grond, enemy hero action success chance reduction. You're gonna be both Tech Thieves, Tech Thief, and, ooh, one of you I will name myself, Nagarond Inc. R&D, oh, for the love of... R&D? Does that work? It does work. Beautiful. And why is there space? Oh, because full stop doesn't work. Yeah, that's fine. All right, there we go. Nagarond and Karandi, you're going to be a tech thief. The other tech thief, you can move to Briganel, and it's 8% to die now. Or to get wounded. Huh, 7% here. I wonder what it's here in Ferignac. 9. Really need that sacrifice to Hikari. Well, hopefully you don't just immediately die. Give it a shot. Hey, another success. Well done, Tech Thief. And let's immediately get you that specialist. Beautiful. Alright, and while we're here, what do we have in terms of sorcerer's capacity? Another enchantments of Grond? Let's get you. Until we get new armies available. Tech Thief. You guys will need to be stealing that tech. We have a lot of tech that we haven't even begun to scratch, so, yeah. Was there a tech that gives us additional hero success chance? That would be nice. Like, really nice. Not here. Oh, shipboard duels. That thing we would like to get immediately. We need a dragon hatchery for this, so let's immediately go for the dragon hatchery here, and... We can't? Why can't we? Huh. Well, I guess we need to do something to unlock this, because I thought that as soon as we got the dragon hatchery, this would come available. I'm not entirely sure what we need to get this. Maybe there's... it's not a capstone tech, is it? Because it doesn't have the, like, red little line that says it. Oh. We don't need to reach tier 5 with Lokhir's thing, do we? Well, it doesn't say anything about unlocking anything. Huh. Well, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is there, but whatever. Lokhir, you're going past Durango and just past the Lyonesse territories, generally speaking. We're going to be... So, we have to capture Elf Town, which also does make sense. So, I guess you're going through Altdorf. We do want the red blades, though, so we gotta go up there. Though we don't, I guess, necessarily have to send Lokhir up there. We could send another army. We'll see. I feel like he should sort of reeve, sack, raid, raise his way through the interior territories before setting out to sea again. So, might as well let him do so. You're good for another turn. I really wish we could have recruited another one, but it is what it is. I don't like the fact that this little army is here. However, I do wonder if they'll just fight, because you could reinforce, right, without screwing over your recruitment. So we'll deal with that in a second. You guys. I wonder if Torbadoos is ready for another sacking. Not yet. Although I guess potential... Ooh, speaking of sacking, 7k, and we would capture it at tier 2, which is generally kind of not worth it, so we'll sack it, I guess. Castle Brienne, auto-resolve. 4 units still managed to die. Featherfoot Torque. Ooh, I was actually looking for one of those. Sack this. And then we will occupy it. Another High Elf Slave. Great, but not for you. Lose the Featherfoot Torque as well. Oh, although actually... might actually want to protect the Harpies to some degree. Alright, fine. First of all, we want to get rid of the Scroll of Leeching and such. This gives us another Black Staff. I don't care for Scroll of Blast, and may as well get rid of the Power Stone as well, which actually isn't so bad, but not good enough to keep, I think. And that's another Black Staff. What does Black Staff do? Augment of the Winds causes damage to self, eh? You're a Fire Sorceress. 3 uses. I wonder how much damage it does to us compared to a Forbidden Rod. Forbidden Rod's, I think, better off on Dark Sorceresses. Actually, speaking of, you're a Dark Sorceress, aren't you? Because Dark Sorceresses can heal themselves via Soul Stealer. And even better probably on, you know, actual Lords, but, you know, we don't have any as yet. Alright, what about anything else here? Interesting... Yeah, can grab the Extinguished Phoenix Pinion for the additional spell resistance, why not? Oh, the Featherfoot Torque, right. Pigeon Plucker Pendant is already on another Sork. So you can have the Featherfoot Torque for now. Oh, you're the one that has it. Ha, alright, Featherfoot Torque it is. Alright, and then you can thereby protect the Harpies. They're pretty fragile in terms of their melee defense, although not that fragile, although they don't have armor and their HP is low. Anyway, Lokhir, you have moved. Let's see what Mount Zardel is worth to you guys now. 6.7, so they got a little bit more money. Are we willing to wait for more turns to get more money? I don't think I care enough. Let's just do that. Alrighty. And the other factions, I'm sure, also appreciate the gifts to this faction, since they're all in a nice little pile of allies here. I don't dislike the idea of them protecting our coastline so that we don't have to, at least for now. Anyway, let's see what we have in terms of building. We still gotta do that after all. You're fine as you are. You are going to get that Hall of Mustering. Greedos Road, you are... fine, no need to rush anything here. I mean, we could, it's just that there isn't any real need. You can be built up. We should probably rush Barboza, though, while we have materials at sea, so let's rush you. And then upgrade Dark Elf Harbor, Guild Halls, and... Wait, I decided not to build Guild Halls at Alquazara? What was the reason for this? Maybe it was there already? I figured we should have guild halls in at least one place, but I guess it doesn't necessarily need to be that way. You can have then... I mean, I guess you could have the slave district. Yeah, fine, go for it. I feel like we'll get rid of those eventually, but for now. And they provide public order, and we'll... that's still fairly useful. You don't need to be rushed, correct? I mean, I guess we could rush the Altar of Cain so that we can upgrade the next level of it, just so I don't forget. Alright, let's do that. And what do we have here? Ah, Grouse. Yes, let's upgrade you and then let's immediately rush you. We still have plenty of stock. And then Grouse, you have Saltworks. For now, I'm gonna say go for the Watchtowers and then we'll see. Watchtowers make Dark Elf garrisons pretty darn insane. I mean, look at that. Executioners, Blackguard of Nagaron, Cold One, Dread Knights. So wherever we choose to garrison up is very much unlikely to fall. And keep those States of the Masters for now, although not forever. But yeah, these places will probably never be safe unless we take out more Bretonia's coastline, or, you know, trade more Bretonia's coastline. But look at that. Another Black Ark can sail on over here and deal with these guys. Also, okay, now we should do it from the top. So, Camring, you are going to capture Castle Brienne. Occupy. And we will uncollect the income, and then we will repair, and then we will... Well, actually, we don't need to fight to the death as yet, but we will probably activate that later. And this gives us Moret, which is a port, and then Castle Grand Set, which I guess we could just sort of... This place only has one port, which I don't like. This place has Ferignac, which is also one port. Again, I don't want to go too much into the interior territories. Maybe we'll allow the rats or somebody to have this. Actually, it would be nice if you could actually capture one of these places, considering you're at war. But we'll see if they're actually capable of it. Anyway, Kenwell Vale, you have taken Castle Lyonesse, but oh right, you're sitting here while you're recruiting. I wonder if this army's going to try to move here. Well, good luck to them if they do. I guess if we're recruiting anyway, now might be a good time to, well, not build the Spire of Sorcery, though we will later, but get rid of the Estates of the Masters. It's not like this particular Black Ark needs any further growth. Admiral Balthanal Shadowheart, you, I guess, while here, though you're slightly damaged, can still move to Merton and sack it again, just to get the XP from killing the army. You're sailing up north anyway. And a free Sword of Swift Slang, thank you, sack it. And keep on moving. Like so, enemy killed in battle, enemy killed in battle. We will turn this into something better. You can also go into Dread Expansion, and oh, head out to sea next, where you can heal up a little bit more. You've got 1 point, which is not enough, but grab loose at least. Reload skill, which is appropriate. I guess Fleet Masters like having ranged crew a little bit more, which does make sense, because, you know, they're firing down from the Black Ark rather than just sitting there. We're not going to bother with the Spire of Sorcery here. I wanted to either get a Dreadmance, or you do have a Death Hag. I guess it's the Dreadmance that we want more than anything. You're a tier 5, so nothing else is super critical. Or another Dragon Tower. Maybe we'll do Dragon Tower this time. They're both lots of nice capacities. Frankly, we'll probably get both. Yeah. Alright. Start on that. More Black Arks means more capacities for stuff that we otherwise would not want to wait to build. Alright, yeah, and there's no islands here. Not a single one. Ugh, game. Unbelievable. Alrighty, well, we can still upgrade the Shrine of Cain, and thereafter get the Death Hag here, and we do have the tier 4 of the monster holds now. So, while we're here also, and since we're here, we can grab a couple of things. I was gonna say at least get a couple of Helldrake packs in here, so I think we'll do that. These two Blackheart Corsairs are low level, which disgusts me, so we will go for you two. Let's get a couple of Helldrake packs. Do we want to grab a Charybdis? Wait, I just want to see something here. So, Lashmaster buffs. War Hydra, Harpy, Charybdis Worm. Okay, wait, what does this do again? This is charge bonus. Charge bonus, probably something not as useful for the big boys. Admittedly, though, a couple of Sea Dragons might be nice, but we need the tier 5 to build those, don't we? Yeah. Yeah, maybe we'll go a couple of Helldrake packs, a couple of Sea Dragons in here. Maybe a couple more Helldrake packs, just to keep it interesting. I hate to lose any of these guys because they're high rank, but nonetheless. You are the lowest rank. Alright, let's get rid of you and then you. Sacrifice them to Mathlan. Let's go for 2 more Helldrakes. Like so. And I think that's good enough for now. And we'll wait and get a couple of Sea Dragons in here as well. Maybe we'll give Lokhir some Charybdises, I don't know, somebody's getting Charybdises, go figure. Alright, so I wanted to see whether these guys would be willing to fight. Ooh, wait, are you able to... Oh, you're rank 10, yes, alright, so you, gambling time, perfection, revere name of power, well, let's see what you got. We've got the Grey Vanquisher and Krakenlord. Krakenlord, ooh, more power for the Blackheart Corsairs, significantly so. I'm surprised we don't have any of those. And then this one buffs Shades and Dark Riders. This one may be a little bit less interesting, while I do like the buffs to the Shades and Dark Ride. Oh, it's melee buffs for those guys. Huh. That could be a little bit different than what we've got otherwise. Krakenlord is fine, but it's a little... Ah, man. Yeah, fine. You know what? Let's do Take Them by Surprise. We'll do a little bit more of the Greatsword Shades in this one. Combine them with the Dark Riders that we already have. I didn't delete them, did I? I kept them, right? Right? Yes. Alright, so we kept those. We might as well hold on to them then. Lovely. Alright, Mr. Grey Vanquisher, we know what we're doing with you. Neither of you are rank 10, but you're closing in as well. And what I wanted to see was whether we could attack you and whether you'd run away. Oh! You're in full speed stance, so you're dead. Oh, hello, free XP. Can you guys go into full speed stance and all leech XP from this fight? Actually, you two, it's more critical because you're... Okay, go right there, because you're not a rank 10. And then you go in as well. This is fantastic. Why, thank you. And I assume we can auto-resolve this, but we'll see if the Dark Riders are gonna die again. And okay, could you just, please, thank you. Here. And then you will attack this, and then all 4 of you will still be there. Like so. Go. And decisive victory casualties low, there's no need to fight this. Fantastic. Alright, and we will take the... money, maybe? Kill captives again for another slaver, although it may once again not happen. We don't need the healing, I'll take the money. At least while we have materials at sea for 3 more turns. And we obviously also need to build... stuff. Huh. You don't need to move at all? Alright. Mr. Grey Vanquisher, you are gonna go right here, and I would like you guys to stay near Mr. Moksha here. Alright, and then since the Grey Vanquisher... Oh, do any of you have a Shade building? I think... No, we have the Dark Rider building, but the Shade building is all the way out here on this guy. Meaning, you're gonna need a Shade building and a Dark Rider building yourself. Alright, well... Reaver's Stables, and Den of Outlaws. And a 1, and a 2. Admittedly, maybe the Reaver's Stables isn't worth it. I mean, it's a 10% upkeep reduction for Dark Riders, but melee Dark Riders aren't expensive in the first place, 164. I mean, granted, all Dark Elf troops are kind of expensive, but not that expensive. Does it do any kind of buff for them, or no? Where are we here? Dark Riders and Doomfire Warlocks... Huh. You know what? Maybe we'll give them 2 Doomfire Warlocks. We'll put more Doomfire Warlocks in an army that has the buff for them, and you obviously don't, but maybe I don't dislike the idea. Anyway, we'll trade you this stuff then. Like so. We will give you the Dark Riders, we will take the Dark Shards, they're not needed because they'll be replaced by Shades, and we'll take away one of the, well, maybe 2 of the Blackheart Corsairs with hand bows, probably several of these guys as well, but we'll need to wait. Alright, for now though, you can stay here, you're all in Dread Expansion now. Can't recruit, but you can build if such building is required. Okay, so not for you, and ooh, with both of these structures, you can't build both of your Blackheart support abilities, eh? Unfortunate though that may be, we gotta have to deal with it. Technically the Harpy Cages then is not necessary here, so we can get rid of you and then build those there. Alright, and that looks good. And then Death Hag, newly built Death Hag. Are you in need of a Death Hag? You have a Death Hag and a Black Arc Reaver. Maybe if we're doing the Grey Vanquisher thing, this is another potential good place to have a K-Knight Assassin. If we have a decent one... Ooh, another Heckardi favored. Master, get on field, please. We need you. Soon we'll get that buff, I swear. Ah, Lethal Shadow. Unspottable and bonus versus infantry. No buffs to the range units, admittedly, but maybe we'll just get you. I want one of them on the field. Let's do Lethal Shadow. And just out of curiosity, do you buff Shades or anything? Do you... do anything, basically? Enemy character speed reduction? Any auras or buffs? I know that there's a trait that buffs range, but this... Ah! Armor for Shades and Dark Riders units, which is exactly what we're doing in the Grey Vanquisher army, and melee attack for them as well. And missile resistance. So basically no ranged buffs, but the melee buffs, which is exactly what we want from the Grey Vanquisher guy. Meaning we'll need another one of these. Ideally another Lethal Shadow because, well, they need the extra melee defense, or possibly a range buff, but I like it. Alright, we got an army, another army coming together. What about you guys? You can't go into any stances. You're still recruiting for 2 more turns until we max out your army, but as soon as you're done with that, you're going to be ready to go. Alright. Alright, building. What do we have here? Wait, did I do that this turn or last turn? Laqueno and Castle Lyonesse. Oh, right, you're waiting. Alright, 3 more turns. I hate to have an army sitting there doing nothing, but, you know, you gotta deal with it sometimes. Pina Wood is fine, Scab Reach is fine, Malok's Lair can pop off a sacrifice, or a dictat, rather. We can increase the growth rate and maybe be able to... Yeah, fine, why not? Go for the growth. Construction cost reduction I don't care as much about. 5 turns. I won't get it while Materials at Sea is up and running, but it is what it is. And everything else is fine, I take it? Nothing to rush? By the looks of it, no. Or at least nothing important. Alright. That's fine then. Alright, and our slave income is coming in pretty good from all the ports that we have. Now, I did move everybody except... I didn't move somebody. Are we going to attack something this turn? Not you. You're... Not you, and I guess not? Alright, well that's an end turn then. At least by the sound of it. Ah, draining winds, damn this thing. Although at least we can counteract the magic power reserve capacity with a right. So yes, I want to be rewarded. Next snap is destroyed, ready for duty. Scout. Hey, Mr. Scout is back. I'm gonna keep your name as Scout because it amuses me to do so, and we'll use your enfeebled defense in some army. I haven't decided which yet. Hey, and then we got Prophet soon. Character experience gain plus 100 experience units, 100 income from post-battle loot. Just need to kill 10,000 enemies in battle, which I'd wager should be simple enough for our purposes. Anyway, unfortunately with that, folks, we're out of time. I'm going to have to call the episode here. This episode actually ran significantly longer than I was expecting it to or intending it to, but you know, I'm having so much fun with the campaign that just want to keep on playing. But what can you do? Anyway, calling it here. Next time, hopefully Kinmovale will get the first of the Creeping Dread up and running. We will have capacity for at least 1 more now, yes. and then a few more tier 5s will mean we'll get a few of them in Lokhir's army as well. Otherwise, we will move Lokhir, start moving him through Bretonnian territories, maybe even walk through one of the fortresses to hit Altdorf, but more importantly to go up here and grab Elftown from Marienburg, which is one of our long victory conditions, though I don't know whether we bother going through all of them, because, well, Order of Lore Masters is fairly far. Naggaroth we can definitely take, even send a Black Ark up here. Lorelorn is another goal, but another reason why we may want to head into the Empire is to grab the Nemesis Crown. If we can get the Sword of Cain and Nemesis Crown, that would be great. And the Flats is in Elftown, so yeah, we're part of it. So there's all that to do. And there's also Nagranath, but that would have to come in out of a confederation unless we end up attacking Crone Hellebron Fort. I mean, it's possible. We'll see. Anyway, lots more fun to come as more armies start coming online and, spreading out all over the world with lots of different army compositions. So stay tuned for all that. Don't forget to leave those likes in the comments below, especially the threshold for the longer episodes. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.